Hello, welcome back again. So, in this training series, I will concentrate on Hyperledger. Okay, Hyperledger is a framework. It's an umbrella project under Linux Foundation, started in December 2015. There are many projects under Hyperledger, and we will be concentrating on Hyperledger Fabric. So, okay, little bit about Linux Foundation. Okay, Linux Foundation is huge and it manages many projects. Of course, as the name implies, it manages Linux, and it has an open chain, Node.js, Hyperledger, Kubernetes, Cloud Foundry. These are the most popular projects, and it has an impressive list of members also. Um, IBM, Cisco, Samsung, Microsoft, Facebook. There are, yeah, a very impressive list, and they all have managed funded by membership fees. Okay. I will concentrate on the Hyperledger Fabric and Hyperledger Composer, and I request someone from our team come up with some other those who have expertise in other areas come up with their own training program, and once we have volunteers ready, I will update to the group. So, okay, Hyperledger Fabric is a framework to build enterprise-grade blockchain applications. Okay, the origins of Hyperledger Fabric can be traced back to IBM Open Blockchain project. IBM and its partners donated the code to the Linux Foundation, they renamed it to Hyperledger Fabric. So I it's a it, it's a production ready framework for business Bitcoin blockchain applications. It is open source. It is a permissioned distributed ledger technology. Um, yeah, and a little bit about Composer. Okay, Composer is a tool for building blockchain business networks. Yeah, we can use JavaScript. We will go deep into Composer in the next sessions. Yeah. Those who have a little bit knowledge about blockchain might have heard smart contract. Okay, smart contract is nothing but stored rules of an agreement. We have discussed that a transaction. um to complete a transaction, we need to validate that transaction. This smart contract defines those validation rules. So once those rules are validated, the transaction, um, then only the transaction can complete successfully. Um, in the Hyperledger world, this smart contract is called chain code. Okay. We will look into in detail about this chain code in the future sessions. Okay. While I was researching about blockchain, I found a few interesting projects, and they are from India. That surprised me because when it comes to innovation, India is the last place. In other cases, I have seen in other cases, but not anymore. In the blockchain, there are many successful projects, that is getting implemented, that is getting tested. So I have took three of them. Okay, one is called bank chain. Okay, let's see what is bank chain. I have a link here. Let's open what is bank chain and our scope of this project. Like, what I did something wrong. Okay. Yeah. Um. So this bank chain is initiated by State Bank of India. Okay, and they created a consortium of banks, and they and and each bank has a membership fee. Those who join to that group, and it is maintained by a startup called Prime Time Technologies. Look at the impressive list of partners it has got. It has got Microsoft, Intel, IBM. So this is one. This one is an interesting technology. Okay. And by bank chain, these banks not going planning to build a brand new framework. Okay. So they accepted the fact that there won't be any one blockchain technology. There will be multiple framework. So by this bank chain, these banks are trying to build a system that even though there is a multiple framework, they all can communicate one or other way. They all can communicate. The medium they are going to use is the bank chain. Okay, so one of the documents they have mentioned that this bank chain is like in the mobiles we have iPhone and Android. Those two entirely different frameworks, different systems. But we have WhatsApp. We can install WhatsApp in Android and iPhone, and we can communicate each other. So this bank chain is such a system. Even whatever the framework each bank use, using bank chain they can communicate easily. So it's a very impressive project we had. Yeah, it's progressing well, and they have different projects. And so some of them are already getting used, some are in testing phase. It's one of the interesting things that is happening in India about this technology. The other one I heard about this one it's called India Chain. It's from a government department. In Indian government has a planning department. It's called Nidhi Ayog. Okay, they make the planning for the government, and they understood the power of Bitcoin, and they are planning to build pilot applications, PCOs, for POCs for the government, like managing land records, managing the pharmaceutical product flow, those different projects they are incubating, and those projects are in different stages of completion. So far, positive news coming out of these projects. So um, we hope it get implemented very soon, and it will definitely improve um, many systems in the government, and it will, once these systems get improved, the level of corruption, mismanagement, all this get eliminated. Okay. um, yeah, it is going to transform our society. No, it not just for India, for the whole developing world, mainly for the developing world. This will be a transformative technology. I have no doubt about it. Another project. This is already implemented and it is successfully running. This one is from Andhra Pradesh government. Okay, as you all know, they are going to build a brand new city. It's called Amaravati, and that's their capital. Okay, capital city. So, as you can see, it's just empty farmland. There is nothing. So they are going to build a big city out of these farmlands. So the government requested farmers to surrender their land, but farmers are not willing to do. They don't trust the government. So government come up with a plan. They build a blockchain and they told the farmers that this technology, nobody can modify anything, and whatever land you surrender, what you get back once you surrender your land, that will be safe, and no one going to snatch from you. They convinced the farmers, and it is getting successfully implemented. Okay. For example, a farmer may have a 10-acre land. He will get some monetary benefit from the government once he surrender his land, and he has to leave that land. But uh, on top of the monetary benefit, he will get some space in the future city. Based on the size of his land, he will get. Yeah, if he has a 10 acre, he may get less than 1 acre in the future city. But the city will be huge, and the return he get from a small space he owns in the new city will be huge also. I mean, it will be multiples what he has current value of that land. So, but this new blockchain technology allow the farmer to track his new plot that got assigned once he surrender his land. The blockchain will record the GPS coordinate and all those information. And since it's inside the blockchain, no one can alter it. It's immutable. So if somebody make any modification, that will be recorded as a another transaction. So the farmer can backtrace, and he can argue that this is an illegal transaction. And it will be easy. With less effort, the farmer can trace back his land, his yeah. So you guys can read more about this project. They have given in detail in this article how it is getting implemented. So it is one of the good examples how this blockchain can improve the corrupt system in our country. So that's about India. And coming back to other major projects, most interesting one is farm to fork project from Walmart. Okay. Um, this farm to fork project, Walmart. Yeah. blockchain. How to, yeah, this is the one. This project, IBM helping Walmart to implement this project, and they use Hyperledger Fabric for this project. So there is a diagram that traceability, transparency. That's the two major the aims of this project. Source. Okay, let's open. Yeah, this article has all the um, detailed description. I had I had the link, but it was not good. Oh yeah, it is there. Yeah, it was. Okay, okay. This has all detail about this project. When you get a chance, please go through it. So all these little circles, all this represents blockchain. So food getting produced in a farm and it moves to the packaging house, transportation, border crossing, processing, distribution, store. So it has to go through various stages, okay? So each stage, how the food is managed, that is recorded inside the blockchain, okay? When a customer comes to the Walmart and with using his mobile phone, he can back trace this whole process, okay? A whole chain of events that happen to the this. Product he can view from his mobile what temperature they put this product inside the packaging house during shipping how they shipped all those information will be available and yeah so that's it. That explains it. How the power of this technology. So the customer can decide based on what he sees. He can discard this one or buy that one. So it brings transparency into the system. Now in current scenario, we don't know from where this food comes. We don't have any detail with this technology, the all the information about the food will be available to the end user. Yeah. So this is one of the impressive technology that is getting implemented. It's not finished. I mean, they are running the pilot, and very soon, I think, very soon we can expect an announcement when they start implementing this one. It started last year, 2017. So it must be yeah, the whole community is expecting and the feedback from Walmart, how their pilot and how what they found while running this pilot program. Okay, then coming back to the distributed ledger technology, this is the backbone of the blockchain technology. Um, so. Uh, every business involved in exchange of some form of value. So and that value in Hyperledger we represent the value as asset. Okay, I will give more information about asset. We can consider assets as two. We classify asset as two groups: tangible and intangible. And tangible means an asset that we can touch, like a cash, building, machinery, all these are tangible assets. In blockchain, any asset, anything that can be digitally represented can be added to a block and it can be part of a blockchain. So let's discuss more about distributed ledger. Okay, let's consider the case of a car manufacturer, car dealer, and a customer. Um, the car manufacturer will have a book of record, and it's called ledger. And it's a similar way a dealer also will have a ledger, and their ledgers will be different and independently managed. The car manufacturer ledger will be information about the manufacturer of the car, and it will have information. It is transferred to this dealer, and the dealer has an information received from the manufacturer and sold to a customer. So it looks very simple, okay, and it looks manageable, but things get complicated when we look into details. The manufacturer is not alone. He has suppliers who help them to manufacture this car. Okay, so this adds complexity. Okay, if somebody asks, okay, what is the history of this car? Then the customer will ask here. Then they have to contact here, and they have to contact suppliers. The chain goes and goes. It getting complicated, but somehow it is managed now. Okay, but it is not an efficient system, and there may be discrepancies. So because everybody has their own records, and these records do not communicate with each other. So and yeah, things will get even complicated because the suppliers will have their sub suppliers, then they will have suppliers. So it is getting messier and messier when we dig deep into the whole system. So and this the in case of some industries like aircraft industries, these informations are very important. For example, an aircraft found a defect. Okay, so before a large scale mishap happens, the aircraft manufacturer needs to isolate that issue, and he has to find out who all has the same faulty equipment, and from where the source of that equipment. All those information they have to gather as soon as possible, as fast as possible. So with the current system, it is not efficiently managed. To solve such an issue, the distributed ledger got implemented. Distributed ledger is nothing but the same information get replicated. Okay, in different area, different parties network. So the manufacturer will have a ledger. That same information will be shared with the dealer also. The car created, transferred ownership, sold to the customer. All this information will be shared because all this information will be updated to one distributed ledger. So in that way, if any question asked at the level of the dealer can answer without any delay, efficiently, and without any discrepancy. The dealer can answer those questions. So it will add efficiency, and that's the power of this distributed ledger technology. Since this information is shared in the network, okay, so yeah, if there should be some steps that needs to be taken to provide privacy and confidentiality. Otherwise, the whole purpose will get lost. So, privacy means the participant not visible. The information should not be visible to a third party. They are not need no they do not need to know about that information. So the information should stay with the manufacturer and dealer. It should not go to the some other third party. So that needs to be guaranteed. Yeah, confidentiality. Authorized parties only have those information. So Hyperledger has there is an added functionalities in Hyperledger to provide these kind of functionalities. Yeah, yeah, and it is a permissioned network. Okay, Hyperledger Fabric is a permissioned network. Restrict who can access and do not do what on the network. So participants should get authenticated, and the participant has an access control, and and it is a basically it is a permissioned network, and confidential transaction. That's another thing about the Hyperledger Fabric. Uh, let's Participants are in control of visibility of transactions. Okay, let's consider there are three participants. Okay, A, B, and C. So one transaction A initiated a transaction, and the other transaction has a property that it is visible to all the parties inside the network. Okay, let's take another example. B and C initiated a transaction, and they have set a rules for that transaction, and made it visible only to B and C. So such transactions are possible in Hyperledger Fabric, and it has no cryptocurrency involved. It is programmable. Okay, we can program, and these kind of channels we can establish. All these are programmable inside Hyperledger Fabric. I will discuss briefly what is asset, chain code, and ledger. Okay, let's go to the another diagram. As I mentioned earlier, anything that is digitally representable that can be added to a blockchain. We can add a car, information about a car to a blockchain, like VIN number, owner details, all those information we can um, save into a blockchain. Okay, and the chain code is the way we initiate the transaction and update the blockchain. So here an example: we initiate a transaction. The transaction name is sell the car. So sell the car is initiated, and we execute that transaction, and the owner information gets changed, a new block created with the new owner information, and the chain code will update the blockchain with the new block, and yeah, and that new block, the information get added in the ledger, and all the participants will get a copy of that transaction. Okay, for the skeptics. Okay, there are people who doubt about um, blockchain, and these diagrams are for them. I consider the technology world, anything in this world, um, do not remain constant. There is a change, always a change. So technology also, that is true in technology field also. Okay, take example of 60s. There was mainframe everywhere. Mainframe comes to the 80s. Personal computers come into the picture, and coming to today, it's cloud computing. So there is a transformation happening every time. Nothing remains constant. So there is another diagram. Okay, this shows little bit more detail. Mainframe got introduced, internet started, internet www launched, cloud computing. Let's see who. Ramanath Challappa. This guy provided the definition of cloud computing. Okay, you can read about him here in this link. So that's in 1997, 1999. Salesforce. See how people had a vision in 1999 itself, the cloud computing, and they started a company Salesforce. Um, 2006, Amazon AWS launched. See the growth 78 million. 2014, 103 billion. It may be 500 or 1 trillion now. um, so things are changing, and this blockchain is part of this evolutionary path. Okay, I have few more diagrams. See, 60s, 70s, then 80s, web, 90s, mobile, 2000, 2010, 2020. The question mark. My answer is blockchain. you, you may have different opinion, but I think it's blockchain. And yeah, let's see what happens. So another diagram. 90s IT supremacy, internet years, personal communication, chat apps, then self-publishing e-commerce this year around 2000, social interactions, Facebook, WhatsApp. Here comes blockchain, decentralization of trust, value flow without intermediaries. So it's blockchain is the part of the evolution, and we are in a good place to begin this evolutionary journey. More diagrams. Okay, blockchain. Yeah, blockchain. The history of blockchain is interesting. It started around 70s, 80s. The concept of blockchain, but around 2010, the Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't think he's one person. I think it's a group of persons. Anyhow, this Satoshi Nakamoto successfully implemented the blockchain. From there, the story begins. So, 2014, companies identified the power of blockchain. They start looking into it. POC start building 2015, 2016 prototypes. See, we are here. 2017 pilot. So 2019, 2020 production. Then the actual production start here onwards. Mainstream adoption. So the future awaits us. So be prepared. That's what the message I have for all of you. So a few more diagrams to show the progress. Okay, these all are the expectations. I think it will definitely come into reality. We have to wait and see how that happens. Here are the list of projects. There may be many different. These are the major projects. Okay, Hyperledger. Okay, enterprise level Hyperledger. Then R3, R3 Corda. R3 is for the financial services, specifically for financial services. I'm interested to learn this one also. If possible, I will conduct classes on this one in future. So Hyperledger R3. These are two of my interests. So yeah. Okay, that's all from me. I have included
few links. Okay. um okay, I want you guys to try it. Even though you are not a developer, just try. Make a progress as far as possible. Try to make the progress installing these things. Try to run these things. These links will have all the information needed to get started. Okay. So if needed, contact me. I am here to help you. Okay. I think that's all from me now. Okay.